The Green Children of Woolpit is one of the most enduring mysteries from medieval England. Dating back to the 12th century during the reign of King Stephen, this legend tells of two siblings, a boy and a girl, who mysteriously appeared in the village of Woolpit, Suffolk. Their skin was an eerie green hue, they spoke an unknown language, and they refused all food except raw beans. The boy soon died, but the girl survived, adapted to human life, and eventually revealed that they came from a twilight underground world called St. Martin's Land, where everything was green and no sun shone brightly. Over centuries, this tale has sparked debates. Were they fairies, aliens from another dimension, malnourished orphans, or something else? Recorded by chroniclers like William of Newburgh and Ralph of Coggeshall, the story blends folklore, history, and the supernatural, captivating imaginations to this day. Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive into one of history's most baffling enigmas, the Green Children of Woolpit. Imagine a quiet, misty morning in 12th century England. The year is around 1150, and the country is gripped by chaos known as the Anarchy, a brutal civil war between King Stephen and Empress Matilda. Villages like Woolpit in Suffolk are simple farming communities where life revolves around harvests, wolves' pits for trapping animals, and the occasional whisper of folklore. But on this day, something extraordinary happens. Reapers in the fields hear strange cries echoing from one of those deep pits designed to catch wolves. They rush over, peering into the darkness, and what they pull out changes everything. Out come two children, a young boy and a girl, siblings perhaps no older than 10 or 12. But these aren't ordinary kids. Their skin is green, like fresh leaves or emeralds under sunlight. They're dressed in odd, unfamiliar clothes made of some unknown material. They babble in a language no one understands, not English, not Latin, not even the tongues of nearby foreigners. The villagers are stunned. Are these demons? Fairies from the old tales? Or lost souls from another world? The reapers take them to the local lord, Sir Richard de Calne, a knight who offers them shelter at his manor. But the children refuse all food: bread, meat, fruit, everything except raw broad beans, which they devour hungrily after someone splits the pods for them. As days turn to weeks, the boy's health fades. He grows weaker, refusing to adapt, and eventually passes away, buried in the churchyard. The girl, however, begins to eat other foods. Slowly, her green tint fades to a normal human pallor. She learns English, gets baptized, and integrates into village life. And when she finally speaks coherently, her story is mind-blowing. She claims they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a subterranean world where everything is green, the sun never rises fully, and a perpetual twilight reigns. They were herding their father's cattle when they heard bells, perhaps from the village church, and followed the sound into a cave. Suddenly, they emerged into our bright, blinding world, tumbling into the pit. This tale isn't just a fairy story. It's documented in two independent medieval chronicles. William of Newburgh wrote about it in his Historia Rerum Anglicarum around 1189, and Ralph of Coggeshall added details in his Chronicon Anglicanum about 30 years later. Both were respected historians, not prone to wild fantasies. So, was this real? A hoax? Or something in between? Stick around as we unravel the historical context, the children's bizarre behaviors, their integration, the wild theories, and why this mystery still haunts us today. Let's journey back to medieval England and see if we can solve the unsolvable. To truly grasp the Green Children mystery, we need to set the stage in medieval England. The 12th century was a time of turmoil. King Henry I died in 1135 without a male heir, sparking the anarchy. 19 years of civil war, famine, and lawlessness. Villages like Woolpit were isolated, superstitious places where Christianity mingled with pagan folklore. Wolves were a real threat, hence the wolf pits, or traps dug around fields, deep ditches where animals, and apparently children, could fall in. Woolpit itself derives from wolf pit, meaning wolf pit, which ties directly into the story. During harvest time, likely in summer, the reapers were out sickle in hand, cutting crops under a hazy sky. The pits were common, but hearing human-like cries from one, unprecedented. They hauled the children out, and the sight must have been shocking. Green skin, not just pale or sickly, but vividly green. Their clothes were described as of unknown cut and color, perhaps woven from unfamiliar fibers. The villagers, fearing witchcraft or the fae, might have debated burning them or casting them out, but compassion won. They were taken to Sir Richard de Calne's home in nearby Wyke's. De Calne was a real historical figure, a landowner documented in records. He housed them, but they wept inconsolably, refusing sustenance. Only when beans were offered did they eat, pointing to the pods frantically. This detail is fascinating. Beans were a staple, but raw? It suggests malnutrition, or a diet from a place without cooked food. As the boy weakened, the girl watched helplessly. His death was poignant. She mourned him deeply. But her survival opened a window into their origins. Why Woolpit? Some say the area's chalky soil and underground caves could inspire tales of other worlds. Or perhaps the bells from St. Mary's Church, still standing today, really did echo strangely. The chroniclers emphasize the event's authenticity, with William noting it as strange but true, based on eyewitness accounts. Ralph, a monk at Coggeshall Abbey, heard the story directly from de Calne himself. This isn't hearsay. It's as close to journalism as the Middle Ages got. As we move forward, picture the fear and wonder in that village. What if these children weren't from hell or heaven, but a parallel realm? Hold that thought. We'll explore their behaviors next. Let's zoom in on what made these children so alien. Their green skin is the headline grabber, described as tinged with green or fully verdant, like chlorophyll-infused humans. In medieval times, green was associated with the supernatural, fairies, illness, or even the devil. But practically, it could stem from chlorosis, a form of anemia from poor diet, turning skin greenish. The children only ate raw beans at first, which are green, and might reinforce the hue if that's all they knew. Their language was incomprehensible, not matching any known dialect. The girl later said it was from their homeland, but no traces exist today. Behavior-wise, they were terrified of our world. The bright sun blinded them, as if accustomed to dim light. They wept for days, clinging to each other. The boy never adapted. He starved himself essentially, dying within months. The girl, more resilient, tried foods like bread after seeing it prepared. Her skin normalized over time, perhaps as her diet improved. Clothing. Strange and unknown. Possibly metallic or silky, not wool or linen. No one could identify the fabric. They had no possessions, just each other. The girl's hair was long and fair, but initially green-tinged too. Once she spoke English, she described St. Martin's Land vividly. A land without sun, across a great river from another luminous place. No hills, just flat green expanses. Bells lured them through a cave into our realm. Was this a child's fantasy? Or a glimpse into a parallel universe? Medieval people saw this as divine or demonic. Baptism was key. The girl was christened, symbolizing her shift from other to human. But questions linger. Why only beans? Why green? As we transition, consider how she became part of society, revealing more secrets. The girl's survival is the heart of the story. After her brother's death, she was baptized, a crucial step in medieval society, washing away any pagan or otherworldly taint. She learned English quickly, perhaps from servants, and took on domestic work at de Caulnay's manor. Chronicles say she was rather loose and wanton in youth, but that's likely monkish judgment. She adapted, married a man from King's Lynn, and possibly had children. Her name? Lost to time, but some call her Agnes. When questioned, she spilled the beans, literally and figuratively. St. Martin's Land was Christian, she said, with churches and bells, but dim and green. Inhabitants never saw our sun. Theirs was like our twilight. They entered our world via a cave after following bells, disoriented by the light. She longed to return, but couldn't find the way. Attempts to locate the entrance failed. This integration humanizes the tale. From green outcast to village woman, her story bridged worlds. But was she truthful, or fabricating to survive? Ralph of Coggeshall notes she lived long, her descendants possibly in the area. This adds credibility. Real people vouched for her. As theories emerge, remember her words: a land where all is green. Now, the fun part. What really happened? Rational theories first. Historian Paul Harris suggests they were Flemish orphans. During the anarchy, Flemish immigrants faced persecution. Many were massacred near Woolpit in 1144. The children might have fled, hidden in caves or woods, developing green skin from malnutrition, chlorosis. St. Martin's Land could be Fornham St. Martin, a nearby village. The cave was perhaps the flint mines in the area, and bells from a church lured them out. Their strange language was Flemish, misunderstood by locals. Another, poisoning. Some theorize they were heirs poisoned with arsenic, which can turn skin green, abandoned in the woods. But evidence is thin. Supernatural angles, fairies. Medieval folklore is rife with changelings and fairy abductions. Green is a fairy color. Perhaps they were from the other world. Aliens? Modern ufologists see parallels. Green skin, unknown language, bright light disorientation, like abductees returning from spaceships. St. Martin's Land as another planet or dimension. Parallel universe. Quantum theories suggest they slipped through a wormhole. Caves as portals fit global myths. Symbolic. Geoffrey Jerome Cohen sees it as allegory for ethnic tensions in England. No theory is perfect, but the Flemish orphan one holds water historically. The Green Children's legacy endures. Woolpit's village sign features them, and festivals celebrate the tale. Books, documentaries, and even sci-fi nod to it, like in The X-Files or Parallel World Stories. Modernly, it's a lens for immigration and otherness. In a world of refugees, the story resonates. Strangers with green differences integrating. Psychologically, it explores childhood trauma or folklore as coping. Skeptics call it a hoax, embellished by chroniclers for moral lessons. But two separate accounts make it compelling. In 2025, with quantum physics and multiverses, perhaps it's more plausible than ever. Visit Woolpit, see the pits, church, and feel the mystery. What do you think? Aliens, orphans, or myth? The enigma lives on, reminding us the past holds secrets we may never unlock. Thanks for joining. Subscribe for more mysteries.